Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Dan and this is one of the most recent residential homes that I've purchased. This is a very unique house, and the reason why is this is the first house that, number one, I didn't really use a lot of my own money. I guess you could say I used some of my own money, but I used a lot of equity that I had in other properties to purchase this home, and then obviously by bank financing. And it's very unique because this is the first house I've purchased based off of an anticipation of the market increasing in value, or this home increasing in value. There's a limited amount of water no matter where you go, especially on this street, which is actually a dream. I've always wanted to be on this street. And the other unique situation about this house is I actually purchased this house to eventually maybe live in it myself and build my dream home on the water on the Detroit River. So let's go and check it out. Alright guys, as you can see in the house, we've done a couple things, not too much. There wasn't too much to do in this house. For example, we painted the brick, as you can see. Just kind of modernized it a little bit. The brick was kind of like a brown looking brick. We modernized some of the light fixtures, again painted the doors, painted the walls. I guess we can head into the bathroom, or the bedrooms here. We didn't do anything here. Kept all the bedrooms the same. The new tenants, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be renting and they're going to be painting themselves. So we just left everything. Bathroom is untouched. Oh, that's not the bathroom. Bathroom we left untouched. As you can see, wasn't too much to do in here either. Again, we're not planning on, you know, this wasn't a gut job, this wasn't something like that, because eventually if I'm coming here, what I'm going to be doing is building my own house, and everything's coming out regardless. Well, actually the house is going to get knocked down. So another bedroom. So the house is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. Some extra floor, or some extra baseboard heat just because of the water. You get these, when you're living on the water, you get these massive, or you have property on the water, you get these massive winds coming off the lake. So a lot of times homes at the back of the house facing the water or fronting the water will have its own heating and cooling just for those reasons. Essentially mostly heat because of the heat loss from the wind. Okay, we'll head over into the kitchen now. As you can see, the kitchen was actually in really good condition. We didn't do anything here. It's got really nice cabinets. All we did was paint. It had this I can't remember what the color, what's that wood called? Cedar. It had cedar up in the ceiling here, so we just painted it white, just because it gave it a, you know, it kind of freshened up the home a little bit. The whole cedar look, it looked like you kind of walked in here and it felt like a sauna. So we did the same thing over here as well. Up in the ceiling, as you can see, like the wood plank, it was the same thing. It was cedar wood plank, and I didn't like it. We also painted the brick here, and also painted the fireplace, which was actually gold. So we've got heat paint on the fireplace, but not too much here to do. This was a very easy home to quickly just kind of put some lipstick on it. What's really cool about this home is it's got in-floor heat, the entire house. The entire home has in-floor heat, and it's got central air up in the attic that comes down. And I'll show you guys a couple cool things here. This is actually a working gas fireplace. You know, at first when we came in the house, we were like, this place has no stove. It's got nothing, how are we gonna cook? You know, it's got a range here, but there's no, you know, usually you find a stove underneath the range or whatever, but, you know, they actually put the stove inside of like a little cabinet thing, which I found a little bit odd, but it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna go into the garage really quick. So, garage has got a nice size 2-car garage. It's got some cabinets, whatever, which is actually taking up quite a bit of space. I'd take those out personally, but whatever. And in here is a very interesting system. Now this is a very well-built system for in-floor heat. And it's extremely effective. This will heat up the house very quickly, and you don't hear the furnace fire on all the time if you're watching TV or whatever the case is. It's just a nice, you know, in-floor radiant heat that heats the house, and it's very effective. One of the really weird things about this place is it's actually got the laundry off the garage, which is not my cup of tea, but it is what it is. All right guys, so we are in the back of the property right now, and as you can see right there, that is exactly why you buy properties like this. There is a limited amount of space, there's a limited amount of waterfront property no matter where you go, and this is what you pay for right there. As you can see over in that direction there, that's Detroit. I mean, I don't know exactly what part of Detroit it is, but is that Detroit?
Yeah, well, it's the outskirts, right?
Or is that the island? That's not the island.
No, the island's way further that way.
So that's Detroit right there. And I'm gonna show you guys a couple cool things about being on the water. I'm new to the water actually, but I've been looking for probably about 5 years. There's a couple things that I still have to do to the property. The property has been renovated. A couple other things that we're gonna do when the weather warms up. We're gonna take out this pond here. We are going to be taking, depending on what the new tenant wants, we're probably going to be leaving the shed here. If I was moving here, I'd be taking the shed out, but a couple other things. We've got to clean up a little bit at the break wall. Another thing that's really interesting about waterfront property that you may or may not know is the bugs are crazy. You get like spider webs like crazy all over the house very quickly. So this was cleaned right around when I first bought the property, and it's already been kind of, you know, spider webbed up. So one of the quick things that I'll show you about being on the water is this. So one of the things that I really wanted to make sure of was that the break wall was in good condition. And this break wall, it's not in the greatest condition. If I were to move here, build something new, I'd probably have to rehab the break wall or maybe even put a new one in. Obviously the dock is in not the greatest condition either, but it's not, it's essentially not a useful dock, so I'm not really too worried about it. But this is what right here that I wanted this property for. This property also sits a little bit higher than the water level, so it's a great property for that. Some of the property down the way has a little bit of an issue with rising water levels in Lake St. Clair, so this is we still got quite a bit of water we still got quite a bit of room before water starts kind of coming over the break wall, so that's perfect too. Another really interesting reason why I purchased this home is because of its proximity to one of the premier golf courses here in Windsor. You know, it's only a couple doors down from the golf course, and it's a highly sought after little pocket of water. So you've got, you know, Windsor does have a good amount of waterfront property, but there's a couple areas on the water that are absolutely premier, and this has probably got to be one of the most prestigious and premier like locations on the water. All right guys, hope you guys liked the video. This is gonna be a new thing on the channel that you can expect. We're gonna go through a lot of properties, a lot of reasons why I picked particular properties. Again, this was really the only property I've ever purchased based off of like speculation and market appreciation. I never do this. I'm definitely a numbers guy. If the numbers work, I buy the property. This property, the numbers do not work. We actually have a tenant coming in today, so I wanted to kind of do this video really quick. But the numbers for what we're getting in terms of rent and what the purchase price of this property was do not work. However, the increased appreciation of this property, even only after a few months of buying it, I've already had offers in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for people asking me to sell to them over and above what I actually paid for the property. So this is the only time I've ever purchased a property based solely off of appreciation, you know, speculative appreciation. So stick around guys if you want to see more real estate stuff. I'm going to get into more business things on this channel. I'm going to be getting into more strategy for business, a lot of real estate strategy, a lot of what I've purchased in terms of real estate. I've got a couple other properties that I can show you that are closing within the next week or so. So I'm really excited about this channel. If you guys are into cars, go check out my other channel, Lambo Lapdog. I've got a couple cool cars and you can see them there. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, all of my social profiles are at Camp Rodan. See you guys in the next one.